Ever feel a little lost watching a baseball game? Yeah, you're not alone. But don't worry, we're going to fix that right now. We're breaking down the absolute core rules of America's pastime, super simple, super quick. Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, you hear a call like that, right? Game 7. The crowd's going nuts. The tension is just insane. It's pure drama. But here's the cool part. All of that excitement, all that pressure, it's all built on a really, really simple set of rules. And that's what we're going to walk through right now.
All right, first things first. What is everyone out on that field actually trying to do? Well, it really just boils down to one single thing. And there it is. That's the whole point. It's not about getting yards or scoring goals like in other sports. It's all about runs. Whichever team has the most runs when it's all said and done, they win. Simple as that. But that brings up a good question, right? What exactly is a run? Yeah, think of a run as like the currency of baseball. It's the only way you can put a point on the scoreboard. So to score one, a player has to make a full trip, a full circuit around all 4 bases and end up right back where they started at home plate. That whole journey, that is the entire goal for the team that's hitting.
Okay, so this brings us to the main conflict of the game, right? You've got 2 teams out there, and at any given moment, they have completely opposite jobs. It creates this amazing tension. Let's break down how that works.
Okay, so the team with the bats, that's the offense, their entire job is to get on base and make that 4-base trip to score runs. Now the team out in the field with the gloves, that's the defense, and their job is simple: stop them. Literally everything that happens in a baseball game comes from this one basic conflict.
All right, so let's zoom in a little bit. Before anyone can even think about running the bases, the action has to start somewhere. And in baseball, it all begins with one of the most classic one-on-one battles in all of sports.
This is the duel. You've got the pitcher on that little hill in the middle throwing the ball towards home plate, and you've got the batter trying to smack it. But the pitcher, they've got a huge advantage. All they have to do is get 3 strikes, and they win that battle. 3. That is the magic number for the pitcher. 3 strikes, and the batter is out. It is a defense's #1, most direct way to just stop the offense dead in its tracks. And when a pitcher manages to get those 3 strikes, we call that a strikeout. The batter's turn is done. They got to walk back to the dugout, and for the defense, that is a huge win, a real momentum builder. And this shows you just how big of a deal it is. When a pitcher is on fire, dominant like Kevin Gausman here, and strikes out 3 batters in a row, we call that punching out the side. It just completely shuts down the other team's chances before they even get going.
Okay, so that's what the defense wants to do. But what about when the batter wins that duel? What happens when they actually do hit the ball? Well, that's when the journey to score that run really begins.
Remember this number, 4? 4 bases. To score that precious run, a player has to touch all 4 of them, in order, without getting out. So let's break down exactly what that 4-step journey looks like. So here's how it works. It's basically a 4-step process. Step 1, you gotta get a hit. That just means hitting the ball into the field of play. Step 2, you run safely to first base. From there, you work your way around to second, then third, and finally, you make it all the way back to home plate. Touch that, and you've scored a run. And here's a perfect example from a real game. You see Will Smith get a hit. In this case, it's called a double, which just means he got all the way to second base on his hit. Now, that allows his teammate, Tommy Edman, who is already on base, to finish his journey and touch home plate. And boom, just like that, the Dodgers are on the board with a run. Okay, but the offense can't just keep hitting and scoring runs forever, right? There's a limit. The defense has a way to end the inning and get their chance to hit. And it all comes down to, you probably guessed it, another magic number.
That's right, it's 3 again. But this time, we're talking about outs. The defense needs to get 3 outs. Once they do that, the offense's turn at bat, which is called an inning, is over. Then the teams swap. The defense comes in to hit, and the offense goes out to play defense.
So how do they get these outs? Well, we already talked about one big way, the strikeout. But there are others. If they catch a ball that's been hit in the air before it touches the ground, that's a flyout. If the ball is hit on the ground, they can pick it up and throw it to first base before the runner gets there. That's a ground out. And sometimes, if they're really slick, they can pull off a double play, getting 2 outs on the very same play. It's awesome to watch. So that's pretty much it. The whole game in a nutshell. Score more runs than the other team. The offense is trying to make it around 4 bases. The defense is trying to get 3 outs. That's the heart of the game. So now, when you watch, think about this. What makes a guy like Shohei Ohtani a total superstar?
It's because he is world-class at both sides of this equation. He's an elite pitcher, getting outs, and he's an elite hitter, creating runs. See? Now you're not just watching a game, you're actually seeing the whole strategy play out.